हेलो स्टूडेंट, वेलकम टू सर कॉलेज ऑफ साइंस। तो आज आम पढ़िया न्यू चैप्टर सर्कुलर मोशन। सर्कुलर मोशन है सर्कुलर मोशन का कहवा ना ए मोशन ऑफ ए particle is said to be in circular motion if any point on this path have a fixed distance from its center. A motion of a particle is said to be in circular motion if any point on this path have a fixed distance from its center. For example, let a particle moves in a circular path and this one is the center of the circle. So, if you take any point on this circular path, that point have a fixed distance from the center and that distance is known as radius. Okay. So, this type of motion we can say this one is a circular motion. Okay. So, as you know from the linear motion or translatory motion, to express a linear motion or translatory motion, we have to know some parameter. That parameters are that is your displacement like distance, speed, velocity, acceleration. Okay. And for the similar case, in case of a circular motion, to represent that motion or to express that motion, we have to know some parameters. If you compare like I am taking in the left side I am taking linear motion and in the right side let I am taking translatory motion. Oh no. Translatory linear motion is the same things. This one is your circular motion. Circular motion. So, if we compare these two motion, so there are analogous in between the parameters like you are taking the S as a displacement or linear displacement in case of your linear motion, but in case of circular motion you have to take the digit theta. Theta is known as your angular displacement. Just right here, theta is known as angular displacement. Like in case of a linear motion, we are just taking the prefix linear, but in case of a circular motion, we have to taking the prefix as angular. So, here this one is the linear displacement, but in case of a circular, we have to take that is your angular displacement. Here the velocity is your v, here the velocity I am taking that is your omega. And v is known as your linear velocity, omega is known as angular velocity. Okay. So, like if I am taking u matlab this one is the initial velocity of a linear motion, but in case of circular motion you have to take omega naught. You have to take omega naught. Omega naught be your initial angular velocity. So, let acceleration I am taking as a symbol small a. This one is known as linear acceleration, but in case of your circular motion, you have to take the symbol as alpha, and alpha is known as that is your angular acceleration. Okay. And as you know the one dimensional motion equation, that equations are, first equation is your v equal to u plus a t. Similarly, in case of your circular motion, the equation will be and the equation will be modified as in case of V we have to write omega, in case of here U we have to write omega naught, plus here the acceleration A, and A will be alpha and alpha into t. Clear? And as you know the formula, S equal to ut plus half at square. So just write it's the analogous form. In circular motion there will be, in place of S we have to write theta, in place of U we have to write omega naught into t plus 1 by 2, A will be alpha into t square. So like the next two equation, that is your v square equal to u square plus 2s and Sn equal to u plus a by 2 2n minus 1, that analogous form you must write in case of your circular motion. Okay. So this is your duty, how can you convert the linear motion into the circular motion. Okay. Now come to the, that is your unit. In linear motion the displacement unit is your meter in SI system or MK system, but in CJ system that is your centimeter. But in case of your angular circular motion, the angular displacement will be radian, because as you know from the unit and dimension, the SI unit of angle is your radian. Similarly, omega will be here the meter per second, but you have to write here radian per second. Clear? Acceleration is your meter per second square. So here in place of meter you have to write radian per second square. Okay. So this one is the tricks that by using we can easily know about the circular motion if we very well known about the linear motion. Okay. So today class I am going to explain, that is your angular displacement, angular velocity, angular acceleration, and how can you represent that physical quantity in terms of your vector. Okay. So let's start. The first one is your angular displacement. Okay. Angular displacement, let I am taking theta, angular displacement, that is your theta. Okay. So what do you mean by angular displacement? Let this one is the center A and this one is the particle moves in the circle. Let the starting point is your A, after t second the particle at point B, and this one is the radius, this one is the radius, this one is the theta, and this one is the linear distance. This one is the linear distance that I am taking S. So as you know the formula, angle is equal to arc by radius. So your angle is your theta, arc 1 is your AB and the radius will be your R. That is your AB. I am taking S by R. So S is equal to R into theta. So S is your linear, like we can say that is a displacement, or not not taking like that. If you consider this one is a very small angle, so it will be very small distance. So small distance means we can take as a displacement. If you take the small distance, that we can take as that is your displacement. So here as we know S is equal to R into theta. If I am taking del S, Radius cannot be changed, only the angle will be changed. For example, let this one is the O, this one is the A, very small displacement, very small angle. If I am taking very small angle, it will be act as a straight line. It will be act as a straight line. That means this one will be your displacement. This one is your displacement. So del S is equal to R into del theta. In vector form, we can write down like that. Del S is equal to R into del theta. Del S is your linear displacement. R is your radius vector, or you can say radius, and del theta is your angular displacement. Angular displacement. So, this is the relationship in between linear displacement and angular displacement. Linear displacement equal to radius times of angular displacement. Okay. How can you find the direction of theta? Let a particle moves like that. For like the fan is revolving around its axis. Okay. So, this is the circular motion. So, how can you find the direction of theta? So, your theta is your axial vector. The theta and omega alpha, this one is your axial vector. Axial vector means that vector whose direction is always along the direction of axis. The vector whose direction is always along the direction of axis, that vector is known as axial vector. Okay. So, let I am taking this one is the axis, let I am taking this one is the axis. Around the axis a body or particle moves in a circular path. So, now tell me how can you find the direction of your theta. So, in that case we can find the direction of theta by using right hand thumb rule, by using your right hand thumb rule. So, in your right hand, this one is the forefinger and this one is the thumb. Okay. So, you have to curl this forefinger along the direction of motion of the particle, and in that case your thumb gives the direction of that quantity. Okay. So, now come to the angular displacement. Now your particle moves like that, yes or no? Now the particle moves like that. So, you have to curl this forefinger along the direction of motion of the particle. So, in that your finger is directed, that is your outward or vertically upward. So, here the direction of theta is vertically upward and this one is the direction theta. This one is the direction theta. So, let a particle moves like that in this direction. So, now tell me what will be its direction. So, we have to curl this forefinger along the direction of motion of the particle. So, like that your particle moves like that, na? So, your thumb is directed vertically downward. So, in that case the direction of theta is vertically downward. So, this one is the such physical quantity whose direction is always along the direction of axis. As this quantity direction is along the direction of axis, so we can say this one is your axial vector. This one is your axial vector. Okay. Now come to that is your angular velocity. Come to the angular velocity. Okay. This one is the omega. The formula for angular velocity is, that is your angular displacement by time. Angular displacement by time. Let a particle starts at point A at t equal to 0 second. After some time, it again reach at the point A. Initially, the particle at A. After some times, we just reach at that same point. So this one is the known as time period. Time period means it is the time taken by a particle to complete one circle. It is the time taken by a particle to complete one circle. So as here capital T be the time taken for that particle to complete the circle. So this one is the time period. Okay. So when it complete the circle at that time, how much angle it cover? Now it cover the angle that is equal to 2 pi. So you can write in place of theta, that is a 2 pi by time is a t. Omega is equal to 2 pi by t. And as you know, the frequency is the reciprocal of time period. Frequency nothing but is the reciprocal of time period. What do you mean by frequency? Now number of cycle completed in 1 second. If that particle complete this circle 2 times in 1 second, that means the frequency will be 2. If the particle complete this circle 3 times in 1 second, then its frequency will be 3. The unit of frequency will be hertz, or you can say the ratio of the time is known as second inverse. Is known as second inverse or hertz, or some case we can take the unit of frequency is cycle per second. Cycle per second, number of cycle completed per second, or that is your second inverse, or that will be hertz. So this one is the unit of frequency. This one is the unit of frequency. Okay. So this much about the angular velocity, and what are the problem we can solve by the concept of your angular velocity. The first question is find angular velocity of that is your hour hand, minute hand, and second hand. Find the angular velocity of hour hand, minute hand, and second hand. Okay. Now come to the answer. Okay. Now I am going to find the angular velocity of hour hand in case in this case let I am taking h is a for hour. So the formula is 2 pi by t or 2 pi by th. Th matlab is the time taken by the hour hand to complete one circle. So if you take this one is the wall clock, and this one is the 12, and this one is the 3, and this one is the 6, and this one is the 9. So how much time will take by the hour hand to complete one circle? Please tell me, what is the time taken by the hour hand to complete one circle? 12 hours, na? Obviously. The hour hand will take 12 hours to take hour hand take 12 hours to complete that circle. So we can write that is equal to 2 pi divided by 12 hour. But we have to convert into a second. So 12 into hour is your 3600 second. So unit is your radian per second. Clear? So this is the answer for angular velocity of hour hand. Now come to the angular velocity for minute hand. Again omega equal to 2 pi by t, for minute hand omega m tm. So tell me how much time taken by the minute hand to complete the circle. Now the time taken by the minute hand to complete one circle is 1 hour, yes or no? So tm divided by 1 hour, so that is equal to 2 pi by 1 hour is your 60 second. So that is your pi by 30 radian per second. 5 by 30 radian per second. Similarly, now tell me, find the angular velocity for second hand, that is a 2 pi by ts. So the time taken by the second hand to complete one circle is 1 minute. 1 minute. So 2 pi by 1 hour, 60 into 60. 1 hour is equal to how much? 3600 second. So that is your again extra 60. So pi divided by 1800 radian per second. I am just convert that hour only into minute, but you have to convert into the second. So 1 hour is equal to 3600 second. But in this case, 1 minute equal to 60 second. So pi by 30 radian per second. So by using this formula, we can find the angular velocity of hour hand, minute hand and second hand. So this is a very important question. Okay. Most of the books that question present. Okay. So no need to worry, just apply that fundamental concept or fundamental formula. We can easily find the angular velocity of hour hand, minute hand, second hand respectively. Okay. So now I am going to establish a relation in between linear velocity and angular velocity. Okay. Those who have not understand my concept, please raise your hand. Those have don't understand my concept, please raise your hand. If you don't understand, then I will explain further. All of you understand my concept? Those who have understood my concept, please raise your hand. Okay, very nice. Thank you. Now come to the relationship in between linear velocity and angular velocity. Okay. So how can you find the relation? Relation in between V and omega. V stands for linear velocity, omega stands for angular velocity. Okay. So as we know the formula, as we know that del S is equal to R into del theta. Del S is equal to R into del theta. So that is your, if I am taking the derivative on the both sides respective time, del S by del T is equal to R del theta by del T. Del S by del T is your V. The V is equal to R into del theta by del T is known as omega. So V is equal to R omega. V is equal to R omega. Okay. Very interesting things happen here. Just watch here and listen very carefully. Your velocity is your which quantity? Velocity is your vector quantity, and that vector must be obey that is a cross product. Yes or no? As velocity is a vector quantity, so that vector must be obey the cross product. Why it is not obey dot product? Now as we know that if two vector quantity have a dot product together, then the result must be a scalar quantity. But or unfortunately this one is a vector quantity. So as this one is a vector quantity, that means they have a cross product. Okay. So cross product means we can say that is your r vector omega vector, r vector cross omega vector. Okay. Some students they tell us that is your v vector equal to omega vector cross r vector. Hello. हाँ class. Okay. So which one relation is correct? V equal to r cross omega and v equal to omega cross r. Out of this equation, which equation is correct and why? Justify your answer. Okay. So we can identify that out of these two equations, which one is correct by using the vector concept. Okay. So this is the circle in which a particle moves. Okay. So this one is the axis. The direction of theta we can find by using your right hand thumb rule. So your thumbs directed vertically upward. So this is the direction of theta, and the direction of omega will be along the direction of theta. That is a very important. The direction of omega is always along the direction of theta. So फिर this one is the r vector, this one is the r vector, clear? Radius vector, and radius vector is always directed away from the center, means radially outward. And whenever a particle moves in a circle, the direction of velocity is always tangential. How do you know that direction of velocity is always tangential? So take one example that just tied a stone at the end of a string. Okay. So this one is the string, let this one is the string, imaginary, just you have to thought. Let this one is the string, at the end I am just tied a stone, okay, and make it take a circular path. When you have a circular path, at that time what happens? The velocity in the circle at any point is always tangential. That is, if you caught that string, when you are just revolving that stone in a circular path, at that time, if you cut that string, what happens? The stone will be flies tangentially. Yes or no? All of you observe it. When you make a circular path, that stone, so at any instant, if the string breaks, the stone will be fly tangentially. As the stone flies tangentially, that means it indicates that the velocity at that point is tangentially. Okay. So similarly, let in that position, if the string breaks, the velocity is tangential. Tangential means that is in that case what happens? I am taking the circle like that. So the direction of omega is vertically upward, the radius vector is towards your right direction, and the velocity in that position is perpendicularly inward. For example, let I am taking the example, just I am taking these three chalk. Look here very carefully. So this one is the direction of omega, and omega is vertically upward. This is your radius vector, yes or no? This one is a radius vector. Okay. So your omega vector direction is along the direction of which axis? Y axis. And here r vector is along the direction of which axis? X axis. But the direction of v vector is in this direction. V vector is in this direction, like that figure. This is the situation. This is the situation happen here. The direction of omega vector is vertically upward, means that is along the direction of y axis, and this one is the r vector which is directed along the direction of x axis. So this one is your x axis, this one is your y axis, and this one is your z axis. Yeah, this one is your z axis. This one is your x axis, this one is your y axis, and this one is your z axis. No problem. Here the v vector direction is perpendicularly inward. That means we can say the v vector is along the direction of negative z axis. Your r vector is along the direction of positive x axis, and the omega vector is along the direction of y axis. Okay. So now my formula is v vector equal to r vector cross omega vector. This is the first equation. Whether the first equation is correct or wrong, now I am going to prove it. So v vector, r vector cross omega vector. R vector is your along the direction of positive x axis, means I cap. Omega vector is along the direction of y axis, that means your j cap. I cap cross j cap is your k cap. K cap means that is your positive z axis. But your direction of v vector is along the direction of negative z axis. But here by using that equation, I am finding here the direction of v vector is along the direction of positive z axis. That means this equation is wrong, because this equation is wrong. Now come to the second equation, omega cross r. Omega is your omega cross r, v vector equal to omega. Omega is directed along the direction of positive y axis, means that is j cap, cross r vector is the direction of x axis, that is your I cap. J cap cross I cap, as you know, I cap cross j cap equal to k cap, but j cap cross I cap equal to minus k cap. So minus k cap means that is your negative z axis. Negative z axis. So in the figure also, v vector is directed along the direction of negative z axis. So from this, by using the vector concept, finally we conclude that the first equation was wrong, but the second equation was correct. All of you understand? All of you understand, yes or no? Please raise your hand. Those who have understood my concept, please raise your hand. Okay, thank you. So by using that vector concept, finally we can just establish the relation in between v vector and omega vector, and v vector equal to omega vector cross r vector. V vector equal to omega vector cross r vector. Okay, no problem. Now come to your angular acceleration. Here the formula for the angular acceleration is the formula that is your alpha, and alpha is equal to omega by t, or that is equal to d omega by dt. Means rate of change of angular velocity. Rate of change of angular velocity is known as angular acceleration. Rate of change of angular velocity is known as angular acceleration. Okay. So alpha equal to d omega by dt. As we know that v vector equal to omega vector cross r vector. Take differentiation on both sides with respect to time, that is your d by dt of v is equal to d by dt of omega vector cross r vector. Clear? D by dt of v equal to d by dt of omega cross r. dv by dt, rate of change of linear velocity is known as linear acceleration A. So here the product rule you have to apply. All of you, I already told you, in case of your basic mathematics class, how can you take the differentiation of product of two physical quantity or two parameter. So the concept is, when you take differentiation of the first function, at that time we have to keep as a constant of second function, plus now we have to keep as a constant of the first function and take a differentiation of the second function. Okay. This is the rule of your product of differentiation. So now A is equal to g omega by dt, मतलब alpha, g omega by dt is equal to alpha cross r vector plus omega, rate of change of position vector is known as velocity. Here r vector I am taking as a position vector, so omega cross v. So finally we just establish a relation in between A alpha r omega v. Very interesting. A alpha r omega v. Okay. So as this one is your acceleration, means these two term must be an acceleration. Are yes or no? 5 kg plus 3 kg is equal to 8 kg. As this one is your kg, so these two must be in kg. That means if this one is your mass and these two term must be in mass. Okay. So as this one is the acceleration, so this first term and the second term must be acceleration. Okay. So in this equation there are two different type of acceleration present. Okay. So what are the acceleration? Just come to an example. For example, a body moves in a circular path. When a body moves in a circular path, it has a center, and this one is a radius vector, and the direction of radius vector is always away from the center. So if the particle moves like that, by using the concept of your right hand thumb rule, the direction of your omega, theta and alpha all are directed perpendicularly upward, because these three are axial vector. These three are axial vector. Okay. Theta, omega, alpha, all these angular physical quantity is directed vertically upward. Okay. And the velocity at any point, is tangentially. So this velocity is tangentially. Tangentially means according to this figure, the velocity is directed perpendicularly inward. Okay. But to represent that v vector, just I am draw a tangent here, but actually in practical the direction of v vector, according to this figure, the direction of v vector is tangentially like that. Okay, inward. That means this is along the direction of negative z axis. The direction of v vector is along the direction of negative z axis. I think it is not visible for you. Just watch, just check it. Okay, okay. Again, I just make the figure here. Particle moves like that. Direction of omega, direction of your alpha, direction of theta, all are along the direction of the axis and vertically upward. This one is the radius vector r vector, and this one is the v vector, and v vector in the direction of negative z axis, r vector along the direction of positive x axis, and these three are along the direction of positive y axis. Okay. So now come alpha cross r. Alpha cross r. Alpha is along the direction of y axis. Alpha cross r. Alpha is along the direction of y axis. मतलब this one is your j cap. R vector is along the direction of x axis. This one is your I cap. So j cap cross I cap cross j cap is equal to k cap. J cap cross I cap equal minus k cap. So minus k cap means this one is the negative z axis. That means alpha cross r, this one is the acceleration. That acceleration is known as tangential acceleration because your v vector is along the direction of negative z axis. Here alpha cross r is an acceleration and that acceleration is along the direction of negative z axis. That means it is along the direction of v vector. So as v is your tangential velocity, so that acceleration is known as tangential acceleration. Okay. Now come to the omega cross v, it is there another acceleration. What will be its direction? Omega is your omega y axis, तो j cap cross negative z axis मतलब minus k cap. So that is equal to j cap cross k cap is your I cap, तो minus I cap मतलब minus x axis. Minus x axis मतलब this is in this direction and this one is the acceleration which is towards the center. This is the acceleration which is towards the center and that acceleration is known as centripetal acceleration. That acceleration is known as centripetal acceleration. So alpha cross r is your tangential acceleration, omega cross v is your centripetal acceleration. So finally this equation we can write as A vector is equal to alpha cross r is your tangential acceleration plus omega cross v is your centripetal acceleration. Where at is equal to alpha cross r and SC is equal to omega cross v. At is equal to alpha cross r or SC is equal to omega into v. So now let a particle moves like that in a circular path. This is the tangent, this one is the center. So in this direction the tangential acceleration present and in this direction the centripetal acceleration is present. So AT plus SC is equal to A. So according to your parallelogram law of vector addition, if the two vectors are drawn from a common point, then their resultant vector directed from that point along the diagonal of the parallelogram. So this one is the net acceleration A. And what is the angle in between? Your tangential acceleration and centripetal acceleration 90 degree. So what will be its magnitude? Now square root of s square t plus s square c. Square root of s square t plus s square t. By taking only magnitude, we can write r alpha. Don't take the cross product is only for the direction. But if you take only magnitude, it will be at equal to r alpha and at is equal to omega into v. Omega into v. And as you know the formula, that is your v is equal to omega cross r, already we know. But if you take its only magnitude, it will be omega r or we can say r omega. So that is equal to omega into, in place of v we can write that is your r omega, or the formula will be omega square r. Or from this equation omega is equal to, we can write v by r. So in place of omega I am writing v by r whole square, into r. So that will be v square by r square into r. So the final answer will be your v square by r. So the formula for AC is your, that is equal to omega into v or omega square r, or that is your v square by r. AC is equal to omega v, omega square r, or that is equal to v square by r. So tangential acceleration, that acceleration is along the direction of tangent, and that acceleration when it produced, acceleration when it is produced. Now when the velocity changes with respect to change in time. So AT is equal to rate of change of speed square plus AC. AC we can write, that is, these are the formula by using any two formula. Just put here AC is equal to, I am taking v square by r. So square say v square by whole square, that is just square root. Okay. So find the angle. Let this one is the angle theta. So tan theta is equal to how much? Now perpendicular by base. Here the perpendicular is, or this one is the perpendicular which is parallel to the AT divided by base. This one is the base, which one is your AC. So tan theta is equal to, that is your AT by AC. Tan theta is equal to, that is your AT by AC. Okay. So for uniform circular motion, for uniform circular motion, as shortcut I am writing here pseudonym. For uniform circular motion, your v is your constant. As v is your constant, so derivative of the constant is equal to 0. So the net acceleration formula will be, that is your v square by r. That is your v square by r. So if for the uniform circular motion v is your constant, if I am putting this one is the constant, derivative of constant is your 0. 0 square plus 0 square is equal to 0. 0 plus something is your something, v square by r whole square ka square root, square will be cancel out. So a is equal to v square by r. Okay. Now if velocity is not constant, then we have to apply that formula. A is equal to square root of dv by dt whole square plus v square by r whole square square root. Okay. That is a very important. Now come to the centripetal force. What is your centripetal force? Now this is the force required for a particle to move in a circular path. Any particle when it moves in a circular path, it just requires the centripetal force, and the direction of centripetal force is always towards the center. So the formula for centripetal force is here, force equal to mass into acceleration. So centripetal force equal to mass into centripetal acceleration. So m into centripetal acceleration, as you know the formula, v square by r, or that is equal to omega square by r. If I am putting in place of s equal to v square by r, the formula is fc is equal to mv square by r. Clear? Similarly, if the formula will be fc is equal to m into, in place of s if I am putting omega square r, so this is the another formula of centripetal force. So fc is equal to mv square by r, and fc is equal to m omega square r. Okay? Yes or no? So this is the concept we just read today, and you read again very carefully. If you have any doubt in the next class, you can ask me. Okay? So the next class is a doubt clearing class about this theory class, and we will solve some problem on the basis of this concept. Okay? So today this much. Next class again we will meet you. Thank you.